go. Let's stand on the mat. Wiggle around a little if you need to before you come into your mountain pose with your feet hip-width distance apart. And just check and see that the toes are lined up, right? The feet are, again, hip-width distance apart, and they're in line with each other. And from there, we want to check to see that all four corners of the feet are in contact with the earth here. So big toe mound, outer heel, inner heel, little toe mound. And then zipping everything up so we have the hips over the ankles, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, hands by your side, palms face out. And then just let your breath smooth out. Just calming through the breath, coming into your practice. Remembering this is your practice, so at each point in our practice, you're going to be figuring out where you are and what's going to work best for you at that particular moment. Okay, so let's take a nice exhale and then deepen the inhales from this nice upright position. Just let the breath flow smoothly and freely all the way through the body to the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers, the crown of your head. And whenever you exhale, you soften. After your next exhale, just let your breath come back to its regular pace and take a moment to see if just with those few breaths is anything starting to feel a little more calm, a little more settled. Okay, and we're going to add the arms here, so palms out, exhale, and then draw energy up, palms up toward the sky as you bring your arms, noticing where your point is at which it would be better for you to go no farther. Touch your palms together, turn your palms out, and exhale. Arms down by your side. Keeping the feet grounded, inhale energy. And exhale, release. And there may be something specific that you want to release as you exhale. So go through that 2 more times with a nice deep inhale of energy. And exhaling anything that does not serve you, serve your practice. And after your next exhale, just find yourself back in mountain pose, breathing. Inhale and exhale. All right, so let's shake things out a little bit and start with our spinal movements here. We're going to let the feet be slightly wider than hip-width distance, knees and hips soft, elbows bend. Inhale. Exhale, draw your forearms toward each other, rounding into the cat, and then opening the elbows back into cow. So cats and cows here, forearms come toward each other, may or may not touch, right? Opening. And remember, when you open your heart back, the head is not flying back, it's just staying a natural extension of the spine. Nice release for the shoulders here too. And the next time you're forward, just hold here. Bring your palms to touch. Fingertips up toward the sky. Inhale, exhale, hands down by your side. Okay, we're going to start some tilting now, taking the spine side to side. Left hand gently to the left leg, right arm up. Remember, your arm might do this, it might want to do something else. Keep the feet grounded as you tilt to the left. And then switch arms as you tilt to the right. Yeah. And let's keep going. So we're warming up the spine side to side. So we start out gently and checking in with the spine, see when it's time to advance this move a little deeper. And the next time you're over to the left, stay here. So find your way over to the left and then float your left arm parallel to the earth. Press those left fingertips away and bring both arms up, right arm down, tilt to the right, stay here. Float your right arm up, press the right fingertips away, and bring the arms up. We're going to shake it down a few times, knees and hips bend, arms back and up. Arms back, and up. Just releasing anything that might have tightened up with that strict movement. All right, and then coming back to standing. So now we're going to take that side move just a little farther. You can put your hands on your hips for the moment. This is also going to be a little bit of a balance challenge. Take your right foot behind your left leg, okay? It might go pretty far, it might not go that far, okay? So find your right foot behind your left leg, take your right arm up and tilt to the left. So now we're really getting deep into that IT band on the right, and come back, left leg behind, left arm up, and tilt. Yes, good, and bring it center. All right, so now with the feet slightly wider than hip width distance apart and the toes slightly turned out, the feet are still grounded. As you bend your knees down and up, they're going out over the feet. Inhale and exhale, and we're going to do a little twisting here. So go ahead and reach to the right, to the left, and let your legs move naturally here. We really want to get a nice little twist. And now start to let the hands reach more toward the floor here. Just as far as you want to go. You may want to stay higher, you may want to go lower. And then starting to work your way back up, reaching the arms a little higher than the shoulders and as high as you are ready to go with this little twisting. You can see how functional twisting is here, right? Especially like if you were reaching into a cabinet for something. This is why we have to move the spine this way. And then come back center, side to side, twist, and bring it down. Bringing your feet back to mountain pose, and just take a few breaths here. See how your body is reacting to everything that it just did. All right, so as though we have not had a very long break, we're going to go straight to the back of our mat and start playing from there. I know. Yep. So let's go ahead and find the feet hip width distance apart. Back of the mat. Inhale and exhale. Float the arms up. Inhale. When we swan dive, it's over those hip creases with a long spine. Just bring your hands to your legs. Your hands might reach your thighs at this point, might reach your shins. Some of you might even go a little lower. Either way, doesn't matter. Bend at the knees. Bring your hands to your thighs. Now shine your heart forward. It's a half lift. Sink your hips, hands to the mat, and walk forward to a downward facing dog. So we're coming into down dog now, and then bend one knee and then the other. Let's give those legs a little bit of warm up here. Press alternating heels down. Press one heel down and hold. Press the other heel down. Yes. Press both heels down and hold. Inhale and exhale here. Okay, we're going to come into a plank, so bring your body forward in space. Knees down is great, knees up is great. Plank here, and take it back to a downward facing dog. Come back into plank, knees up or down. Good, and downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Bring both knees down. Try and get them to touch at the same time. Lots of control here. And then sit off to the side. Take your legs forward and come into seated mountain pose. Okay, shake out anything that might need to shake out, and then find yourself in seated mountain pose with the feet flexed, the spine long. Inhale and exhale. All right, so let's go ahead and shake the legs out, shake the arms out, and we're going to move right into tonight's boat variation. We'll start with 2 feet on the mat, about hip width distance apart, arms forward, and just take your body back so you can feel your core engage. Now go back a little farther, maybe you feel a challenge. If you start to feel like you're about to fall out of it, go back to where you're nice and strong here. Okay, so this is one version of boat, just holding it like this. A lot of work here, and come on up. All right, so now we're going to take the arms forward, come back into this boat, extend the right leg without touching the heel down. So the right heel is 2 or 3 inches off the mat. Bring the right foot back down. Extend the left leg without touching the heel down. And bring the left foot back down. And let's do that one more time each side. It's right and down and left and down and sit up. All right. So you can, at any time, do either of those versions. Now we're going to hold on to the hamstrings, lean back into our core engagement, take the right knee up and take the left knee up. This is full boat with bent knees here. Inhale and exhale. And I know this is a lot of fun. Inhale and exhale. Good, and come back to seated. So now we're going to add on a little bit to that. Remember, you have those other options always available to you. Lean back to your core engagement, core challenge point. Lift both legs and tap your right toes down. Bring them up. Tap your left toes down. Bring them up. So we're doing toe taps from the boat. Right, left, right, and we're not trying to go fast here. Left, one more right, and one more left, and release. Whew, shake everything out. Okay, anybody starting to feel this? Remember, you can stay with alternating. You can go double. We're going to go double toe taps now 4 times. Or you can do 2 right and 2 left. Or you might be doing one of our earlier versions. All is good. What's the best one for you is the one that you want to do. So let's take it back, 2 knees up, arms forward, we're in boat, and it's a double toe tap, and up, double, and up. Remember all the options you have. Double, and up, and double, and up, woo, and release. Shake things out. All right. We're going to move into the obliques now. So let's go ahead and with the feet hip width distance apart, take your arms forward, bring your palms to touch, and take your both hands over to the right as you lean back and come up. To the left as you lean back and come up. We're going right and up and left and up. One more to the right and up. One more to the left and up. All right, take a breath. That's one way to do it. Now we're going to add opposite legs. So the palms are touching. Lean back, arms right, left leg extends. Remember, this heel does not touch down. Bring the foot down. Right leg extends as the hands go to the left and in. And hands right leg left and up. Hands left leg, right leg extends and up and sit up. All right. Okay. Let's try and do that with 2 knees up. So lean back, get your balance. Okay. I was playing with this before and I was falling over the whole time, but you'll probably do better. Okay. 2 knees up, palms touch. Here we go. Hands right, extend the left leg, come center. Hands left, extend the right leg, and up, and switch, and switch, switch, and switch. One more each side, right and left, and release. Okay. Anybody feeling your core? All righty. Good. So let's just release, move around, shake it out, and take a couple of breaths. Great. All right, happy 2023 to our cores. So just go ahead, shake out for a moment, and we're going to move into rock the baby. So now we can release all the hip muscles here. All right, so sit up nice and tall. Yeah, we'll start with the left leg extended, left foot flexed. The left toes, left knees are pointing straight up. Bend your right knee. Right foot in the left hand. Right leg in the right hand. Knee side to side. Remember, this is just about moving from the hip, and there's no torso turning here, so we're not going side to side with the torso. Straight ahead, leg side to side, rock the baby. And some of you might take this a little farther if that's you tonight, where you might even be putting your right foot in the crook of your left elbow and your right knee in the crook of your right elbow. That's not necessary, but for some people with a little more open hips right now, this may be a preferred version for more hip flexibility. All right, so come back to center now. Take your right ankle to your left thigh. Your right foot is flexed. Support yourself with your hands and just draw your left foot in till it touches the mat here. Your right foot is still flexed. That's important. Your left foot touches the mat. And we're going to take the right foot over to the left and the right knee over to the right. So we're doing a little windshield wiper move with the left leg. Still keeping the torso nice and steady. Good. And let that right foot come all the way over to the left. So here's where we do a little check of our alignment here. If your right hip is not touching the mat, see if you can rest it down to the mat. That's your right sit bone. Otherwise, just bring your right foot to your left shin. Okay, so you want to be nice and even. That make sense? Okay, we want the hips nice and even on the mat, rather than being like this, trying to keep this right foot over to the left and having this hip floating up in the air. So let's be nice and steady here. Left hand outside the right shin, right arm up and back by your hip. Inhale, and as you exhale, without tugging, this time we twist from the torso, taking the gaze toward the right shoulder. Inhale and exhale. And some people might bring their left arm up and left elbow outside of the right knee. Other people are going to stay with the hand to the leg. Which one is better for you right now? Take your gaze toward your right shoulder. And on your next exhale, turn your gaze to the left. Yes, and on your next exhale, turn your gaze back to the right. And let's release, unwind, both legs straight, give them a nice crazy shake. Okay, ready on the left. So this time the right leg stays long, right foot is flexed, toes are pointing straight up, right knee points straight up, left foot in the right hand, left leg in the left hand, and we rock the baby. Yeah. And then if it's you tonight and your hips are asking for this, you might be putting your left foot in the crook of your right elbow and rocking your baby this way. It may not be the night for you to do that. All right, let's come back to center here. Bring the left ankle to the right thigh with the left foot flexed. Support yourself with your hands. Draw your right foot in just till it touches the mat. So it's an open seated pigeon position we're in here. And with the left foot flexed, bring the left foot over and back. So we're going side to side, still keeping the torso nice and steady. We're moving from the hips. Yeah. And then bring your left foot all the way over to the right. Do that little check. See where your left butt is and move your left foot if that's going to seat you more evenly on the mat. Okay? So we've got the right hand outside the left leg, left arm up and back by your hip. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist. The twist comes from the torso, not from tugging with the right arm. And some people will take their right elbow outside to the left leg. Oh, these look good. Nice long spines here. So we don't sacrifice the spine length and call ourselves going deeper into the twist. We keep the spine nice and long and only twist as far as that allows. Take your gaze towards your left shoulder. And as you exhale, take your gaze back to the right and gaze back to the left. Good. Releasing to unwind. Take your legs straight and give them a crazy shake. Nice. Inhale and exhale. Shake out your wrists. Okay, so we're going to be coming to hands and knees if you want extra padding for your knees. We were talking about having an extra mat if you have one, or towels nearby, or a yoga blanket, okay? Depending, if you want some extra padding for your knees or not. Go ahead and have that and come to tabletop here. All right. So we're pretty much squared off in tabletop. The hands can be a little farther forward if that's more comfortable for the wrists. Inhale and exhale. We're going to take the right leg up to hip height and flex the right foot and check to see that our hips are still square to the mat. So if they were headlights, they'd be shining right to the mat. And then float your left arm up by your ear. Inhale and exhale. And bring the hand and knee down. Try and get them to touch the mat at the same time. Yeah. All right, we take the left leg up just to hip height. Keep the hips square. Flex the left foot. Float the right arm up. The right arm's by the ear. The spine is in neutral. We're nice and balanced here. And let's go ahead and bring the hand and knee down. Maybe trying to get them to touch at the same time. Inhale and exhale. Now take yourself into a knee down plank position. So we're going to go plank to push up to hips toward heels. Okay, so we take it down, nice strong arms up, hips toward heels. Okay, knee down is fine for this. If you prefer to do it with your knees up, you can. Just make sure you're not doing spaghetti spine at any point. So just work through that. Yep, plank, push up, hips toward heels. Ah, beautiful. Excellent. Excellent. And then find your way to child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide apart. It's typically nice and comfortable. And make sure your forehead is connected to the earth. So it may rest comfortably on the mat, or you may make a pillow with your hands. But support your head. Don't make your neck overwork, supporting that big, heavy head of yours. Finding child's pose. Great. And now float your way to downward facing dog. Find your way to your down dog. Make it nice and even, so your weight is nicely distributed between 2 hands and 2 feet. And then find any journey that you like to get your feet to your hands. You may take a couple of hippity hops or a nice slow walk, a few big steps. And when you get there, bring your hands to your thighs, shine your heart forward for a half lift. And let's exhale, forward fold from the hip creases and straighten the legs as you go. So you're going down as far as is appropriate for you right now. Those hands might be on the thighs, they might be on the shins. You're in your forward fold, the legs are straight. Take a breath and see if the fingers are willing to wiggle down any little amount more. Now think of your lower body as bricks, right? Super heavy. Your upper body as feathers, keeping those feet grounded, the lower body super strong, upper body super light. Exhale, and as you inhale, float your arms out and up. Float it up, palms touch. Yes, and hands come heart center. And then find your way to mountain pose and just take a few breaths, see how everything's feeling. All right, everybody good to go here? Okay, so we're going to be moving into sun salutation, and from our sun salutation, we're going to do a knee down crescent lunge, but then we'll be lifting into knee up crescent lunge. So it's important to remember a couple of things about balance. Come to the top of your mat, okay? When you're moving into balance, keep your gaze nice and steady, right? And keep your breath nice and smooth. Keep your mind calm. So let's find mountain pose at the top of the mat. Inhale and exhale. Float your arms up, inhale. Exhale, swan dive over those hip creases. Keep the hips over the ankles, legs straight. So we don't care how far down the hands go. We want that nice alignment of hips over ankles, legs straight. Okay, let's go ahead, bend the hips and knees, shine the heart forward, half lift, sink the hips down, hands to the mat, right leg back, take it into a lunge. Now from here, and you can flip up the edge of your mat if you want more padding for your right knee, bring your right knee down. Okay, extend the toes behind you, so the right toes behind you, left knee over left ankle, and float the arms up. You're in a low crescent lunge. There you go. All right, now bring your hands down. Here's where we're going to be moving into that knee up. If you don't feel like it's right for you, then just keep your knee down. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee, okay, that would be your right knee. Engage all the muscles of your body here, and then slowly raise those arms into a high crescent lunge. If you feel unsteady, bring your hands back down, bring your knee down. All right. Excellent. Bring the hands down and come into a knee up or knee down plank here. Knee up or knee down. Yes, looking good. And let's see, a nice strong chaturanga. No wobbly spine. Nice strong chaturanga. All the way to the mat now. Great. And take a little baby cobra, shoulders toward the ears, down the spine, heart shines forward. Not using the hands for this. Release. And find your way to downward facing dog. Okay, inhale and exhale. So we're finding 4 nice points of balance in the down dog. Nice long spine here. Raise your right leg. Step forward with the right foot. Bring the left knee down and arrange yourself in crescent lunge position. Right knee over right ankle. Left knee is behind the hip. Arms up. All right, now we're going to try it on this side. Hands down. Tuck your back toes. You can skip this part if you feel like it's not right for you. Take your back knee up, engage all of your muscles, and slowly, carefully, draw yourself into, high crescent lunge. All right, let's bring the hands down and take a giant step forward with the back foot. Take a half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. And come to mountain pose. So sometimes we have to wobble a little and we want to train the brain and the body to know that's okay, but we still want to be safe, right? We don't want to wobble and fall over. So you've got to find your edge and don't go past it, okay? All right, are we ready on the left? Same thing. Start at the top of the mat. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, straight legs over those hip creases. See where you land, and then see if the fingers want to wiggle just a little farther down. Maybe they don't. That's fine too. Bring the hands to the thighs, knees bend, hips bend, heart shines forward. Sinking the hips down, hands to the mat. Step back with the left leg into a lunge. Yes, enjoy that lunge. Wiggle around a little. It's a great little hip opener. Yeah, you're in a lunge. Sometimes I stop to observe. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to bring the left knee down and come into low crescent lunge. Why am I not explaining this a lot to you guys? Because you've all done this a lot. So, all right, bring your hands down. Now we're going to, and you can totally skip this, lift the back knee. Leave it down if you're not comfortable or happy lifting it. Engage your core and come into high crescent lunge if that works for you. Bring your hands down and step back to plank, knees up or down. We're looking for a good strong plank here. Now, if you happen to be in a knee up plank, before you chaturanga, roll yourself onto the very tops of your toes and then chaturanga. See how that feels. Everybody, nice strong chaturanga to the mat here. Inhale and exhale. And let's treat ourselves to a little sphinx. So take your elbows under your shoulders, forearms to flat on the earth, palms flat on the earth, and then just shine your heart forward and take your gaze straight ahead, just like a sphinx. Yeah. Nice. And release. All right, we're going to release the spine from that a little bit, so make a pillow with your forehead, bend your knees, and rock side to side. Of course, if you did that standing, then just go ahead and wiggle your hips side to side. All right, bring your feet back to center and find your way to downward facing dog. Okay. So down dog is a really good opportunity to put length in the spine, whether you're have 2 hands and 2 feet on the earth, or you have hands on the wall or a chair. Okay, think about lengthening the spine. All right, here we go. The left leg comes up this time. Left foot steps forward. Right knee comes down. Arrange yourself for a low crescent lunge. Bring your hands down. Lift your back knee. Okay, if you're going here, this is what you're doing. If not, you might stay with the knee down. Engage all the muscles of your body. Bring your arms overhead. High crescent lunge. Good. Now bring your hands down. Take a nice strong step forward. Take a half lift. We come into forward fold. Think about the heaviness of the lower body, the lightness of the upper body. And on your next inhale, just float the arms out and up as your palms touch. Yes, and hands come heart center. And find your way to mountain pose. All right, so let's have the feet hip width distance apart. Nice, tall posture, spine long, palms forward. And either just defocus your eyes or close them and take a moment to feel what's going on with your body right now. How's your energy moving? How are you feeling? All right, let's shake things out and really loosen things up with some brush hands. So take your feet wider than hip width distance. The toes are facing out. You're on all 4 corners of your feet, hands to the hips, and when you bend your knees, they're going to go straight over your toes because your feet are square on the earth. All right, so with straight legs, draw your arms up, turning your palms forward. Brush your hands like you're brushing down a wall with the knees out and up. So we're going into horse stance, brushing hands down and up. And just work through this. One more time. Good. Bring the arms up. Bring your hands to your hips. Heel toe your legs closer together and shake everything out. Inhale and exhale. Okay, we're going to finish our standing with a little warrior 2. So take your legs super wide this time. Turn your right toes to the right, left toes in at an angle. Bending your right knee so it's over your right ankle. And if you're square on your foot, your right knee is tracking right where you want it to through the center of your right foot. Your left foot is also in good contact with the earth, all 4 corners. Shoulders are over hips. Arms are directly out from the shoulders. Gaze is past your right fingertips. Inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to straighten the right leg, bring the hands to the heart, turn the gaze forward, and open back up into warrior 2. So that's all we're doing, just coming in and out of warrior 2. Inhale, hands to heart. Exhale, open. And the next time you find yourself in that open warrior 2 position, gazing past the fingertips of your right hand, just hold there. Bring your hands to your heart as you turn all 10 toes forward and start to come into forward fold, folding from the hip creases. You might stop with your heart over your hips. You might decide to stop halfway. You might go even farther. You decide where you're going, and then bring your hands to your legs. And see if they'll inch down just a tiny bit more for you. All right, bring your hands to your hips, come up halfway, take a breath. And then with a nice straight spine, come up the rest of the way. Heel toe or hop your feet together, give your legs a little shake out. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's take the legs wide again. Same thing to the left. Left toes go to the left. Right toes are at an angle. The left foot is square, so when you bend your left knee, it's tracking right through the center of the foot. The knee is over the ankle. Right foot is in good contact with the mat. All 4 points of it are nice and square. Arms are in line with the shoulders, and your gaze is past your left fingertips. And we straighten the left leg, hands to heart. Open back to the left. And just do that 3 more times. And after your final one, we might all be going at a slightly different pace. That's fine. After your final one, hang out in Warrior Two. We meet back there. Yes, inhale and exhale. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn all 10 toes forward. Straight legs, folding straight over those hip creases. And then just take this and make it into anything that feels good to you, whether it's a wide-legged rag doll, or maybe a adductor extension side to side, or any combination. Twisting. Okay, just look for what's feeling good to you. And then come back to center. Bring your hands to your hips. Come halfway up from wherever you are. And then come the rest of the way up. We always want to have that little pause, right, in the middle so our bodies can get used to and we don't get dizzy on our way back up. And then heel toe or hop your feet together, whatever's going to feel best to you. Yeah. All right, shake those legs out. Shake the body around. Okay. All right, let's come into mountain pose and just do a nice little scan from head to toe. How's the body doing? How's your mind reacting to what's going on? What are your feet doing? Are they naturally starting to really get square now that you've been focused on 4 corners of the feet? And then just go ahead and shake around, move around, do whatever is going to feel good to you to release yourself. As we start to work our way down to the mat, you might be grabbing a blanket, right? Socks. You might be rubbing your hands in some lavender, okay? Remember, if you need some fresh lavender, come and see me, I've got it. Okay, or if we're going to see each other in person, tell me to bring you some. All right, and just move around until you feel like you are ready to come to mountain pose at the top of your mat. You've got your stuff that you want nearby, right? Take a couple of breaths. Good, now float your arms up, inhale. Exhale into your swan dive. See where it goes now. Keep those hips over the ankles. Keep the legs straight, folding from the hip creases. How's this fold feeling now? Bring your hands to your thighs, knees bent, hips back. Shine your heart forward. Sink the hips down, hands down. If you have a lot of extra energy you need to burn, go ahead and do plank chaturanga and come in, back bend, and then come into down dog. Otherwise, just come back to down dog. Remember, your hands could be on a wall or a chair, or you might even go straight to table right now. Okay, if you're working on your vinyasa, go ahead and continue. If you are in table or down dog, let your hips move. And go ahead, we'll all come to table and meet in seated mountain pose. Don't rush through your vinyasa. If you decided to do one, just meet us in seated mountain pose when you get here. Feet are flexed. Inhale and exhale. Great, and shake things out a little bit. Okay. All right, we'll do a couple of nice soft forward folds. Just float the arms up and exhale, melt over your legs. Roll your hands up your legs. Inhale again. Exhale, melt. And roll your hands up your legs. Go ahead and bend your knees 2 feet to the mat. We're coming all the way down. Roll it down. All right. So from here, we're going to extend both arms overhead, both legs long. Inhale. Exhale, right knee in, Ardha Appanasana, holding the shin or the hamstring. Extend your right leg, 2 arms overhead. Exhale, left knee in, hold shin or hamstring. Extend arms, 2 arms, 2 legs. Exhale, 2 knees in, Appanasana here. Okay, we're going to go through that one more time, taking it into happy baby sequence. So let's extend both arms and both legs. Inhale. Right leg only in, Ardha Appanasana. Now your left leg is free to bend if it feels better, or it can stay straight. Find your right foot, okay? If that is just too far away, find your right hamstring and come into half happy baby. Your right knee is heading towards your right armpit. Half happy baby. And release, extend right leg, 2 arms overhead. Exhale, left knee in. Finding that left foot or the hamstring. Half happy baby on the left. Knee to armpit. Release, extend legs and arms. Inhale, exhale, knees in. Happy baby. And in your happy baby, go ahead and give yourself a nice little spinal massage, rocking side to side. Happy baby is also a great hip stretch, so let's keep that in mind as well. And then just come back to center. Keep your feet up and bring your arms down. And we want some space in between the feet so we can point and flex the ankles. Very mindfully pointing and flexing. And then circle one direction and the other. And look at your feet, smile at your feet, and thank them for all they do for you. Now go ahead and bring them down to the mat and let your knees gently open and close, little butterfly wings here. And come back to center, inhale and exhale. Your arms are down by your side here, so go ahead and extend extend and wiggle your fingers into gentle fists. So we extend the fingers nice and long, wiggle, make a gentle fist, extend and wiggle. And then coming into a gentle fist, rotate the wrists one direction and the other. And bring your hands down. And let's go ahead and turn the head side to side, really paying attention to how the neck is feeling. Alright, so come on back to center now, and just go ahead and start scanning your body and see if there's any movements that the body is asking to make. And just go ahead and take a moment to take any moves. And then go ahead and start to find your alignment for final relaxation. So relaxing the body onto the earth, decide if it's a good night for your knees to be bent, maybe the feet close together or the feet far apart, maybe the legs straight. See what feels better to your back. Find it, play with that for a moment. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. And come into your final relaxation position here. And now we're just going to take one time of drawing all the muscles really, really strongly in. So find that sensation of really drawing in through all the muscles from your feet to the crown of your head. And then let the whole body just move into relaxation. Inhale through the nose, and as you exhale through the mouth, let your body just melt onto the earth. Know that the earth is there to support you in your final relaxation. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Gently bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your next inhale, stretch everything long. And as you exhale, draw your knees in, give yourself a hug. Find your way over to a side, take a breath there. And find your way back up to a nice easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.